Honey, is it on? Is it on? Is this bitch recording? Oh. Okay, two things. What time is it? It's 9:30. What time is it, Bruce? It's 9:30. It's 9:30 a.m. Y'all know I'm just really getting back and settled in from Mexico. And I'm here in St. Pete tonight because, hey, Amir, I need a piece of guac from you. I'm here in St. Pete. Obviously, I don't. God, Lee, I hope I don't got no damn cold from over all this atmosphere change. I'm here in St. Petersburg. I came straight from Mexico over here, and I've been in travel, so y'all really haven't seen. But I had a really good time in Mexico. I was out there doing a lot of hey, Trent. I was doing a lot of things. I do need a person that has. If you do hair here in St. Pete or Tampa or somewhere, if you do hair, I might need you to curl me up or something before this evening. I might thank you, baby. You know how you Liz, thank you so much. You know, I got my shot. I might need you to curl me or something. You know, inbox Trent. You know, Trent takes care of all of that type of stuff. You know, the venue has changed for those people that are coming to see me tonight. Me and Craig. The venue has changed. You said how many poppies come to the room? Nobody. I didn't have any. Amir, I need to get some hair from you, bitch. So sit tight. Sit by your phone. I'll call you when I leave here. It's a couple things that as I was traveling home and I was on my Twitter and stuff like that, I was seeing a lot of conversation around Craig and a lot of conversation around me and fag talk and, you know, all the things. I just want to say this for me and for my space. I don't know what people see or what they think they see or what they don't watch or whatever. I don't know. I don't have no energy and not right now because I don't feel the best. I watched Hope's video just this morning because people were like, girl, what's going on? I was like, what are y'all talking about? Anyway, I watched Hope's video. I watched Angelica's podcast thing. It's whatever. And there were a lot of valid points made from each person's video. But there were also things that were left out from, you know, my perspective of, I think that when the girls see me sit next to someone, they think that I just let things go by and they're unchallenged or whatever. Or from what I was gathering from both of those girls' videos, I don't think that they think I'm smart enough or I have the mental capacity to handle, you know, challenges that are thrown in my face or whatever. I don't know. I will say this to speak to this part of the educated girls, the educated, like the ones that, you know, they love the education and the degrees and all this stuff. And we love a very smart girl. We're very grateful for an educated trans person. I've been smart enough as a black trans woman living in the United States of America, smart enough to amass, to be, you know, a girl of a very much so multi-million-dollar status. I've been able to do that. I've been smart enough to do that. I've been smart enough to sit at the head of at the executive tables to command the way that my life is going to be patterned out. I've been smart enough to do that. And I've also been smart enough to maneuver through the spaces where girls, Angelica and other girls, have occupied spaces and, you know, have gate kept and have, you know, kept me on the other side of a place, you know, and smiled at me and with me. And so I've been smart enough to maneuver myself through to get beyond and past that. And I've also been smart enough to reach back, Hope, and make sure that I don't do the same things in those spaces when I get into those spaces. So I made sure that I was smart enough to reach back and get my sisters and nieces who needed opportunities to make sure that they get their first steps in mainstream media. I love all my people because we are in a space of, I just want to say this too while I'm here. All of the grand girls, we need you to give up one of your properties. I'd like for all the grand girls, I'm calling all the grand girls to the mark, all the television accolade girls, all the girls that have these degrees and these smarts, give up one of your homes. Let's all do this as girls that are, because I'm not smart enough. I'm not educated enough. Let's give up one of our properties. How about we do that? How about we give up one of our properties and let's do what the dumb girl is doing. How about we all get together and we all buy another property together and we continue the starter house things going around in a circle? Or you just give up one of your properties that you have. How about we do that? I want you to understand that you guys think that whatever happens with Craig and however Craig's views and opinions is, whatever his views and opinions are, like that I'm like on the bandwagon of it. I've challenged Craig many times and will challenge Craig over and over and over again. The unfortunate part about the situation is when people say, well, I don't watch the show, I haven't watched the show. Well, then you've missed the challenges and you're only getting the clips. You're only getting the subtotal. You're not getting the full total. And that's okay. Or people that say you don't challenge your friend Daniva with this and the other. I've most definitely challenged my friends when it comes because at the beginning, middle, and end of the day, I'm Black. You've heard me say on countless times that, and I know that shave thing, Angelica, I think that was for me. I don't know. It could have been because I did say about shaving. But I also, in the same breath, said, I don't invalidate anyone's trans identity or non-binary identity. I said them to be mindful of the way that the world, the optics of the world that we live in, because the world, we haven't had the opportunity to really change the world completely how we're working on trying to change, or just trying to get the world to be accepting of what we are and who we are. I've said countless times that I'm not invalidating your identity as a trans person or a non-binary person. What I'm saying is be mindful of the spaces that you get ready to occupy. If you go in the bathroom and you have a beard from ear to ear, you don't think anyone's going to look at you strange. Even us as trans people walking into spaces, we have stepped back twice and we've looked at things, but we're like, okay, we don't understand. You already know that there's a lot of propaganda that goes around with us as trans people. Oh my God. You already know that there's a lot of propaganda that goes around with us and things. So I'm always, yes, I may joke and I may have fun and I might, have a good time, but I'm definitely for my people. Never forget, I'm dark brown, dark skin, light skin, beige, fluorescent beige, bitch. I'm Black. Let's never forget that. But we can't, can we? I don't like when people have my phone number and they have a small grievance with myself or some slight with anything. My phone number's been the same for 30 years. Yes, I've lived a long time. I'm close to 50. I was smart enough to maneuver through and survive that. AIDS and prostitution and trade and all the things. I was smart enough to maneuver through and make that happen and to amass a fortune. I was smart enough to do that. I don't like the the notion that I'm like a dumb girl, because I'm many things in this world, but dumb is not one of them. Dumb is not one. I've never been dumb. I've been smart enough to outsmart the the degreed. I've been smart enough to outsmart the degreed girls, and the girls that they can't figure it out because they're so smart, but yet they have no reach. Arms are long, but you have no reach. I've had the opportunity to stand next to girls or stand next to and with girls who have thought that I was floor trash and wasn't supposed to be in the rooms. I was smart enough to do that. I was smart enough to make an impact on this earth, on this globe. I was smart enough to do that when some girls are still trying to figure out, how do I get in? I was smart enough to do that. And smart enough to amass a fortune. Ain't that something? Again, let's get back to the place. How about all of my elite, smart, degreed, educated girls? Let's give up one of your properties. Let's give up one of them. Selfless. No money attached. No gain. Was actually going to be quiet about it and wasn't going to say a word to the public, but was told that I need to speak up so that this can be something that can start a movement. How about we do that? We as trans people are not going to always be in unison with the things that we and how we feel and everything. We're not going to always be in unison. But what we will do and what I will do, and this is why I'm not even in a tone of like this place, because I was watching these videos and I was just like, well, Madison, how do you respond? Everybody thinks that I'm going to always respond in this place or whatever. I'm not, because these are people that I love, and I love them with the same, breath that I had yesterday. But these are people that I love and respect and honor, revere, reverence. And I've championed even when some didn't champion me. It just gets to a point where no matter what you do, or you're never going to be able, you're never going to do enough. And I understand the way that things are going on in this administration and in this political climate that we're in right now. I understand currently now, that tensions are high and everything that every conversation that we have is important. And that's why when I sit on Fag Talk and I joke and have a good time, I know that my audience reaches a mass of people. And I know that I've tried to do my best from what I can and where I can to educate even with my not being very smart, to educate my mass of people that are following me to understand the issues of trans people, to understand the where Black trans people are in the world. And there are many people that can attest to following me for almost 2 decades, the change that they've come in their heart or in their families, or how I've helped bring families back together because of the relationship that I've had with my mom. All these things that I've lived my life ups and downs in front of people, and the accountability that I've taken from, the mistakes that I've made. I even when I set up and I've talked about how that I was one of those people who felt as a trans person that I was not who, when it came down to the Kaya, I felt that I was one of the people that she wasn't talking about. That when she was saying sissies, bulldaggers, pumps, faggots, I've said this on countless times. I've even occupied major spaces and have said this, like, I made a mistake. I made a mistake and thought that this person cared for me or loved me when they were saying transphobic or homophobic things and stuff like that, I thought that they weren't talking about me. And I've shared these experiences. I've talked about these experiences. I've talked about these things and took accountability and where them, and I've said that when I've gotten into it with other trans girls, yes, I have read them down to the floor and said some vile things back to them. But bitch, I'm fighting. When I'm fighting niggas, bitch, I'm fighting niggas with all the strength I got, bitch. And so, yes, I've gotten into it with girls, and I've torn their pussy holes open, bitch, and bricked them and did the things. Because this is what we do. We're catty. We're shady. This is what we do when we're battling. Oh, well, I got a public space. I got a whole public space. Okay, I'm still a human. And I still bust a ball on the motherfucking ground if I had to, But, Angelica, there was a time that I don't think that you knew about when one of those girls, one of those stalker fan girls, because I didn't respond to an inbox, became belligerent. I think that's the word, since I'm really not that smart. Belligerent with me. And, she felt like that she had ownership, that I should see her, And so she went on a tirade of making videos and shit about me or whatever. And then she made this assumption. I remember we were out of town and I was getting a message saying that I was stalking some girl. I'm like, why would I stalk a broke bitch? What reason would I have to be stalking a broke bitch? I'm getting to my bag. Why would I stalk a bitch that's broke and late and has said these vile things about me and then putting out that I'm trying to hurt and the word under the, because I get all the word under the street. It's just a lot of things I don't address. You over there saying you're gonna handle that. None of you girls have the capacity to handle me. For the record, none of you girls have the capacity to handle me. I don't give a fuck what position or what seat you may sit in. You don't have the capacity to handle me. That goes from the top of the food chain, which is Laverne, to whoever else, down to bottom of me. You don't have the capacity to handle me. You don't have the strength to handle me. I am an omega force. Omega. You don't have the strength to handle me. And so when I heard that, I asked my girlfriend, so who's supposed to get handled? Everybody got my phone number. Everyone has my telephone number. Everyone has my this, because I've always been open and loving, but you don't have the range to handle me. I don't care how many degrees and education and spaces and places that you've held. You don't have the strength to handle the TS at all. I'm not a line that you want to walk. I'm omega level. The best thing that could have been done is to call me and communicate and ask me what happened. But to handle me? I'd like to see it. I would have loved to see it. And though we live in this climate right now, where we all need to be in unity, because we must, it's important for us to be in unity. Ain't nobody ain't nan gonna handle me. N-A-N-N, ain't nan gonna handle me. They got titties at the top or whatever you got at the bottom. You ain't gonna handle me. I'd like to see it. Now, I don't have any problems with anybody. And my love still runs deep to the ground and, to the floor with all of my trans siblings, my sisters, my trans brothers. I don't want any division amongst us. I don't want any division amongst us. I don't want any separation, because now is the time that we need to be standing on the sun together. Now is the time that we need to be holding hands. This administration, this regime, and the perils that we have coming to us is crazy. And this is the time we need to be standing together most. When the Butch Queens say that they want to separate the tea, when that video surfaced from Daniva, I was one of the first under there stating that There's no way possible that you could move the T, because the T is the reason why you're able to suck dick. The T is the reason why you're able to have pride. The T is the reason why, bitch, the revolution started with the T. No, Craig, I'm going to tag you in. And I need to get this out because I just need to. Because this is things that I see. I'm the type of girl, because I love people so much. I see the slights and the jabs and the things, and I overlook it. I overlook it because I'm like, no, I don't want to get it. I don't want to wallow down in it. I don't want to do that. I just don't want to do that. I don't want to address stuff like that. I don't want to argue. I don't want to be at the tone. I don't want to be, because these are people that I love. When I don't fuck with you, bitch, you gets it. You gets the bottle bust on the ground and it's up. But when I love you, or I fuck with you, I have reverence for you, I try my best to just be like, okay, this is their opinion. I'm not going to say anything. And the mob be messaging me through every place, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, saying, hey, do we need to mobilize? I'm like, no. Let everybody have, I'm not above reproach. I'm not above critique. I'm not above that. Allow me, because I watch it and then I learn from some of the things after I watched it and be like, okay, maybe I could have, and here's me being transparent. Okay, maybe I could have handled that better, or maybe I shouldn't have said that, or whatever, or I'm going to do better in this space, or whatever. I've learned so much. Even with me being older. Because here's what people got to understand. We're in a body that's going to age. Yes, I'm an older trans, very much so older, but I'm not above learning. How many times have I said, I don't understand the non-binary thing. However, I'm going to respect everybody. I'm not going to invalidate. I don't understand it. And then I've moved from not understanding it to teaching. Saying, I had to learn when I was on the set of the show how to maneuver through the non-binary. I said, I got it now. I understand. You know? And so I just, this is why I'm handling this with a lot of, because this is not from a place of whatever. This is a place of love. But I also still have undertones of, things that I've been gathering and little under the table conversations that we girls have a month. And whatever I said under the table around, I will say it to any girl's face. So if anybody brought back any under the table thing, I will either say yay or nay, I said it. I'll say yay or nay, it was said. I don't have a problem with that. In your face. You know this. What's that? Hey. Are they sitting in the car for you?
They were asking me that.
Are they here?
No, they're not going to be here till 11. So I was just trying to figure out, because they said it's only going to take me. He said it's not going to take long for me to.
So you want to drive over there, or are they sitting in your car?
I'd rather drive so I can come back. So that's what I was asking. Are you guys going to take the car?
Yeah, we need to take. We got to take the car to go to work.
No, but I'm saying, because I wasn't sure.
He just want to go and car it.
Okay, well, do it. Because where is it? If they're giving you, have you spoken to any?
Derek, talked to Derek. So.
Have you talked to Trent?
No, Trent's in the back right.
Okay, well, Trent, he'll give you instructions on what to do. But yeah, you can. I don't have the key. Y'all got the key to the car. You have the key still?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Did you sleep well? No, that's not G. G's very quiet. G's over there trying to keep his. G got his hand on my foot like, girl, stay low. Because I could get irate, but I don't want to. Especially with all the things that I've heard, the side conversations that I've heard that a lot of these people have said about me, like the little side under the table conversations that I've received, and then I've been like, oh, that was interesting. And I don't know whether they're true or not. but I still don't indulge in it. I'm open and still whatever. I just feel like, oh, okay, well, all right, cool. Okay, well, maybe I did say something to make them feel that way. Well, all right, well, they'll call me or whatever. And then I see little stuff that I just be like, I don't kind of like that. Or I watch it and be like, I can learn from that. I could learn something from that. But then it's the others that said that they were going to handle something. I don't get in that. I don't get into that. I'm going to be handled. Not by no trainee, not by no dyke, not by no punk, not by no sissy, but no faggot, no bulldog, or it's going to handle me. Because I'm a street bitch that will not be handled. I can be educated. I can be called in. But handled? Nah, you got me fucked up. All the way. But I just wanted to get that through. We are going to do a fact talk. I'm not going to stay on that stuff, because obviously nobody watches the show from my understanding. And that's okay, because there are parts that you miss, especially parts that come down to me holding my friend accountable, or my friend holding me accountable, or things that we've discussed. I know that we are all supposed to be one voice, one sound, but it's not going to happen because, again, there were parts. You say you seen Angelica Ross' Instagram, and she was definitely trying to get a moment when she came for Craig. Well, there were things that she was saying in there about, but she couldn't. I don't think that she should have added Craig as like that. Craig is the moniker or the face of the this. There are things that we have stated on our show that may not have been. The pill may not didn't go down correctly, but I've held my my friend Craig to the fire for things like, Craig, this and the other, and we've collectively disagreed on stuff, and it's just the fact that I don't like them thinking that they they have I've just not checked my friend, like I've not checked my friend, or not checked him, or not have called my friend in, called him in. And there are plenty of times that we've been live shows, I've called my friend in and been like, girl, I don't like the way that this is going on. And that Tamar moment that happened, that was a moment that happened and it went on. And and that was a great way to segue, to use an example. I got it. It was allowed. It was just the tone of, I'm not smart, or performative activism, stuff like that. I was just like, now Craig didn't say he was an activist. And I never really claimed to be an activist, bitch. I just happened to be a voice that got thrown into it. And so I said, okay, well, let me lean into fighting for my people. Let me do that. Let me lean into fighting for my people, because I know that my voice is big. In a space where you occupy public office or public position, you're not going to do everything right. You're not going to do everything perfect. So this is why I don't get mad all the time at criticism that I receive. I don't always get mad. I feel a way when people have my phone number, because that's when it becomes performative. When you have my phone number. When we speak about performative, that's when you have my phone number. Because there's no way that I'm going to cause a rift in thought for a public space when I'm having discussions about my friend. You got it? You understand what I'm saying? When I have my friend's number or colleague or girlfriend that I can pick the phone up and be like, hello, how y'all doing? That's when it becomes performative. When we start using these words that I'm not smart enough to really understand. Because the girls were kind of leaning to the fact that I'm not smart. Or I'm not educated enough to, or maybe it wasn't me. Maybe I was reading too deep into it, but I did feel like that was like, I'm like, well, is this me? Because, or am I the ratchet one that they just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I was just like, was it me? And am I not the, am I not, G, give me that one right there. Thank you. I don't know. Oh my God. Thank you. Oh. And what shows your intelligence that you're, I'm always willing to learn all the time. But that bathroom, I know that shaving stuff was definitely for me, because I have definitely had my conversations about the shaving. I was definitely talking about shaving. I remember me saying it. But I also remember me in the same breath saying, ma'am, we as a collective, as trans and in the Labiquita community, we know what you're saying. We know what you are. We believe this. I believe this. But you put yourself in harm's way when you step out into society, and because we have not completely changed societal norms. We're working on implanting the thoughts on respecting and any other, but we haven't changed societal norms. So be mindful that you can put yourself in danger with a beard from here to here. And because I'm old school, and also not just old school, but I'm old school with my arms open to learn. But I'm old school in the fact of the women that I and the slew of girls, when we were transitioning, we looked to that and those as the women that we wanted to look like, and none of them had a fucking beard from here to here. None of them. So miss me with that. Oh, what you say, G? Stay down. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Hold on. Um. No. Don't do this to Hope. No. Don't do this to Hope, and don't do this to Angelica. Don't do this. I'm just meeting everybody on the line where they met us. So don't do this. These are my sisters. These are my nieces. But I have questions about a couple of things. I had questions about stuff. Craig, I've said this to you 50,000 times. I don't know we haven't been on Fag Talk in weeks.
At least a month.
So I don't know where any of this stuff comes from. I don't know where you've been, what you said. I've been out here trying to get this starter house thing together. I don't know what the fuck that you done been. I don't know what you've said or done. But what I do know is when there's places, when there are nouns involved, people's, places, and things, when there are nouns involved, bitch, you check me, or well, no, you call me in. Cause excuse, you
Right.
call me in, and I call you in. We sit next to each other. I do not agree with the things that you say about this and the other. I don't
About the
agree with a lot of your.
non-binary thing.
I do not. I
And
have
we've
never
talked,
agreed.
and it truly is okay. You know, it truly is okay. Here's the thing, and I'm gonna really sink my teeth in this when we get back on Fag Talk, bitch, because I want the masses to know. And when I sit up and I'm talking like this, I'm talking to you, Angelica, and I'm talking to you, Hope, because both of you had my name in your mouth for no apparent reason. Part of the reason that I take issue with both of them is because, one, with Angelica, she didn't reach back to some shit that happened in New York City back in February. Bitch, it's almost May.
Yeah, but I understood. Listen, here's me playing devil's advocate. I understood the way she weaved that into the conversation. Let me do this. That was very smart of her.
Well, help me understand what she weaved in,
Well,
because
she weaved in the conversation about the pronouns, and see, this is how we do on the
this
show.
is what we do on the
Well, they,
show. Go ahead, I'm
well,
listening.
unfortunately, Hope, you don't really get to the end, and that's okay. This is what we do on this show.
Right.
I'm finna go to the mall. I was just trying to see who said they're gonna handle you.
Nobody said they was gonna handle me. No, no, no.
Oh,
This was some under the. No, this was under the table conversation with a girl. You remember that girl that girl that was stalking me,
mm-hmm.
and then she was over there telling people that somebody was trolling her in her comments, and so
She gonna handle you?
no, she was saying that I doxed her and that I did some kind of stuff to her while we were out of the country.
He's in DC.
We was out of the somewhere, and so she tagged Angelica, and Angelica was in it. Like instead of calling her the bitch that she know, she was this new girl was saying that she was being harassed and this and the other. Because I don't mind who I get get it on the floor with when I need to. And so I got word that the girl was saying that's why I never called and asked her because I was like, nah, she couldn't be saying she was gonna handle me, and I'm on the lie. She couldn't be saying that she was gonna handle me.
Not you. It was
Nah,
girl.
I know she from Chicago, but I'm from Dade.
It wasn't you.
It wasn't me.
It couldn't have been.
About a bitch that's stalking me and trying me. You're a star, you're a celebrity. You know these fans will try to attach themselves to you to get a click in the view, niece. I mean, excuse me, sis. You know this.
Let me
Hold on,
say this.
Craig. Let me get this out.
Oh,
You were a
you didn't
bigger
get
star.
those out all the time. I've been sitting here waiting.
You were a bigger star before me, girl.
Huh.
So
And
you
see,
know how this works.
that's Angelica's problem. But see, I'm gonna sink my teeth into
You
her
were a
when
bigger
we sit back
star
down.
before me, so you know how this works. You know that this crazy ass girl over here talking about why would I go through Glad or any other program to get your address to dox you? Why would I do that? Make it make sense. And you over here telling who you gonna handle? Oh yes, because the word got under the table, but not well. Now we're in the public now, having a public conversation. Here we are now. Who gonna handle me? You gonna handle me? No. I won't be handled. We can sit down and have a conversation, but handling me, Omega level.
Phoenix Force.
You don't have this. You don't have that. And I love all my sisters, but I love all my sisters, but I will get it on the floor verbally. We're talking about verbally first. Verbally.
They don't want one to maximize the snapper.
I'm just saying.
No more mutant.
You listen. I'm just saying. You better grab that handle on that pot and cook you something to eat. Talking about handling me. You better grab that handle. You better grab that handle on the end of that pot before you talking about handling the TS. No, 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 no. We would try to figure out what's wrong with this crazy ass motherfucking girl.
Is it my turn?
I'm almost done.
You were supposed to say all your piece before I came on.
But no, that's why I was telling you I wasn't ready for you. I wasn't ready for you to come on. And see, Flame was over there, and when her and Flame and all that stuff got into it, I was just like, nah. I kept my hoods, my feet. I kept away from all that stuff. But
Mhm.
I love Flame, and Flame can burn down. But I'm a silent burner. Flame ain't gonna burn it down, honey, and go whatever. But I'm definitely warfare. Now, again, when I watched that video with Daniva, I didn't like that.
Mhm.
I didn't like it. There were so many layers of that video that I watched it, and I commented up under that video and said what I said under that video because I was just like, bro, like what the fuck are they talking? Like how the fuck are you? What are we saying here? Like where are we at with this? You know? And when I was coming here and you called me and I said, well, no, when you sent me the video because you said, well, this is gonna be some topic. I said, well, what the fuck is this? Like,
Mhm.
what is it? You know,
Yes.
I just I don't know, Craig. Again, as a BQ butch queen is what you are. As a
Is that what I am?
I guess is the butch queen. There are lots of things and lots of sentiments that I call you in about that you don't have any. Maybe I don't say it with much education. Maybe I layer it with too much laughter, or once it's beyond the laughter, maybe I layer it with anger.
But see, that's part of Hope's problem.
Not
Her activism,
not
her activism is angry, and she
listen.
would be a lot more effective. She'd be a lot more effective if she didn't think she could strong arm people into. And I'm not even talking about me. She would be a lot more effective in her advocacy if she wasn't so angry.
Well,
But here's the thing. My thing is this, going back to Angelica, and then I'll move on over to Hope. And I'm going to really lay all of this out when we get back on Fag Talk. Because, like, I'm literally here in Florida minding my business, getting ready for the show tonight. And I get all these messages from some of the popular hot ass gossipers sending me this podcast that Angelica did. She reaches back to something that happened with me and Tamar, which was a teachable moment, or could have been a teachable moment. And in Angelica's commentary, she said, girl, referring to me multiple times. I don't give a fuck about anybody calling me girl in the sense that it does not hurt my feelings. It's just a boundary that I have set. I simply set a boundary. I don't know you, Angelica, just like I don't know Tamar, so the rules still apply. I don't know you. So it doesn't matter that you are under the LGBTQIA community. I don't know you. And so just like you would not want me to call you boy, sir, him, his, don't play with me in your motherfucking commentary. Because see, what I'm noticing is the Hopes and the Angelicas who think that they're these um, complete and total voices for the trans community. They think that they get to set the bylaws and the rules for all trans people. You think that you can call butch queens girls and Miss Thing, but then when one of the girls call you sir, him, you don't like being misgendered. Now, even when I am serious, like in this moment, I'm still not going to call you boy, sir, or mister, because I am true to this.
well,
I'm really about
because
bridging communities,
and also because they are women.
and I'm not trying to be
Yeah,
divisive. So if
and
you
I didn't come on divisive either.
No. But what I'm saying is, like, they purport that they are these trans activists and this, that, and the third, and they're all about community and this, that, and the third. But it's ineffective. It is essentially ineffective if in your commentary, Angelica, and in your commentary, Hope, the one that I just saw today, where you're gonna sit there and say, "Oh, the girls and da da da." Like, okay, yes, it's semantics within the community, but when you're trying to call somebody to the carpet and you're using those are fighting words, and we know the difference. We know that you're now using it as a pejorative. But
Well,
my thing is this: Hope, Angelica, you can police anything that I say, but you can't control me. And you love to sit on your platforms and try to say that we're not a monolith, a monolith, but in actuality, you want us to move as if we are. You think that I have to adopt your ideas, your ideology about the whole them and they thing with non-binary people? What I said was, then, now, and forevermore, is I respect non-binary people. And we're going to play the clip on the next Fag Talk when we sit down because we've already pulled it. I've already pulled the clip. Thank you, Kayla. Kayla has already pulled the clip of me saying, I believe that non-binary is a thing. I respect non-binary people. I never said, Angelica, that I was confused. I never said that I never said that I was confused about that. What I said was, so that I don't misgender a non-binary person, I am going to use their name. Because if a non-binary person presents as a woman, or they present as a man, I don't want to slip and say him, if that person is non-binary, if they go by them or they. I'm going to use their name, because then if I do try to conform and use the them and they and not use their name, and if I slip, then that's going to be a problem. Oh, he's out here intentionally misgendering. No, some of you bitches, Angelica and Hope, you intentionally want to misunderstand and misinterpret people. Some of that shit that you all are coming on these platforms arguing about, that's your family trauma. I have nothing to do with how your family handled you. And Angelica, for you to say the Craigs of the world as if I am the poster child for all of these trans men, transphobic men, transphobic gay men, that was disingenuous. It was divisive, and it makes you a fraud. Because what you need to understand is I have been doing this long before I met Madison. Now, yes, the glow up came when I met this bitch. A lot of you met me when I met this bitch. But I've been writing and producing stage plays since I was 26. Bitch, I will be 49 years old in 2 days. So, bitch, while I was writing and producing stage plays, you were probably in the military. You probably hadn't even transitioned yet. So I was doing this before you got here, before you were doing this. And what I'm going to further delve into when we sit back down over there on Fag Talk is that what you need to understand is your anger is not with me. Some of you are upset because I am sitting next to her. And secretly, you want that position. I didn't ask for this position. It's just the magic that happened when we sat down. We never decided that we were going to do a show called Fag Talk. Some of you have a problem with the name Fag Talk. Bitch, get over it. Get over it. You are not going to control us. You are not. You can never. You use your platform to do what you do, and we're going to use ours to do what we do. I am hosting Telling Our Stories on June 20th in Atlanta. Angelica, I will sponsor your ticket. I will sponsor your ticket, bitch, because I know money might be a little issue for you right now. I will sponsor your ticket. And at that Telling Our Stories, we're going to talk about all of the things that divide us as a community. I've invited trans people, non-binary people, so that we can really flush out the issues, to really bridge communities. So instead of you all getting in front of these cameras and on these live streams, bring your ass down to the Park Tavern on June 20th. Again, I will sponsor your ticket, Angelica. Hope, since you be twirling around in all of your designer shit, I'm sure you can pay for your own ticket. So instead of coming on your live, don't talk to me on your live. Come talk to me in person on Friday, June 20th. The tickets are already on sale. So let's talk about this in a real way. If you really are interested in bridging communities, if you really are interested in educating people about trans identity and non-binary people, because you're not going to continue to conflate what I've said. And the fact that you tried to tie in something that Funky Dineva said with what I said, that's nasty work. That's nasty work. And when we sit over there on Fag Talk, there are a lot of things that Madison says because she is trans that I will not say. I barely say trainee. I'm not going to sit here and say that I've never said it, but I barely say trainee. Because I know some of you, and I say this all the time on the show, I say, you know why, I'm not going to get into that because I know some of the trans girls are going to feel away. So there are certain things that I don't even say. And back to you, Angelica, the fact that you reached back to some shit that happened 2 months ago about me correcting a cisgender woman about using the wrong pronouns with me, misgendering me, if she had called you boy, you would never turn your motherfucking live camera off, bitch. You'd still be talking about how Tamar called you him or he or boy. And you'd be trying to rally everybody in the queer community to be on your side, to be in your defense, and to cancel Tamar. I didn't take it that far. I'm not interested in Tamar being canceled. For me, it was just a teachable moment. That's all it was for me. It was not about us trying to get clout or me trying to get clout. Bitch, any clout that I don't need any more clout. Bitch, this is enough right here. This right here has been enough. I don't need to talk about anybody for clout. Every time we sit down to do fag talk, every single time that we sit down to do fag talk, every single video goes viral. So why do I need to go and create a situation with a Tamar? So again, for you to dissect that whole incident and then to make it seem like I was wrong because I didn't want to be misgendered. So then isn't that the cornerstone of everything that you talk about for trans people? Wanting to be respected, hope, and wanting people to use your proper pronouns? So because I'm a gay man that I should be okay with that?
Well, where did this conversation come from about the T being removed? Where did this? Where? Because we haven't been. I haven't,
The
Craig. I have not
first I
seen
heard of that was when Dineva
Daniva
said it.
was talking.
Right. And I
So
and
so I don't know where none of this stuff came from. Like I haven't seen you in a month.
that's what I'm saying. We've talked, but we have not seen each other
So I
in
don't
a
know
month.
where any of this stuff came from, and for me to get up and be like, well, what has happened? And then I look at Daniva's page, and I was like, I commented immediately about trans is the only letter of the acronym
And I have said that
that's
on Fag Talk.
the only letter that's, or besides the Q, that's an identity. Like that's everything else is a sexual orientation.
And the fact I don't even understand how Hope tied me into her video talking about this trans stuff. So again, she's conflating something that I said about the non-binary thing, and I'm not going to use them or that. I'm still not going to use it,
Well, I am.
and that's
I
fine.
am.
I'm going to use
I'm
I'm
going
going
to
to use
use
a
it.
person's
I
name.
am. I am. I'm going to use they because they and them is not hard.
It's not.
I don't give a fuck what you
It's
say.
not hard. It's
Oh, it's
not.
not. They and them is not hard, Craig.
It's not hard, and it's not confusing. But what I'm not going to be is accused of misgendering. So I'm going to use your name.
Okay,
and,
great.
and,
But
and Hope,
I'm.
Angelica, neither one of you can force me to buy into your politics. You cannot. And I'm not interested in jumping on every new thing that the queer community comes up with. I'm not. And if that makes me disrespectful, then so be it.
I'm going to use they and them. She and her. I'm going to do that. Me. Now, at the end of the day, when I talk to you on the way here, the analogy I made is this.
Mm-hmm.
The analogy I made is um, your mama named Gladys.
Right.
You may have played here and there and called her Gladys.
Yes. That's right.
You may have played and called her Gladys, but her pronouns is mama.
That's
And
right.
you know not to play those games. I joke around with Miss Mary and call her Miss Mary, but my mama's pronouns is mama.
That's right. That's right.
She know and even when I'm calling her Mary, I put Miss in front of it out of
That's right.
respect.
That's right.
And I'm gonna take it a step even further. When I say when we and you joke about Tim,
Mm-hmm.
when me and you joke about Tim, I
Mm-hmm.
say put Miss Tim in front of that shit, bitch, because that's a form of respect for me. Miss motherfucking Tim.
And even with
But
our rapport, I don't overuse that.
but here's the thing, I give you permission. When I check another bitch on the outside about that Tim shit, I didn't give you permission to do that. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have permission to do. I don't give a fuck where you see me at. Where you see me talk, I didn't give you permission to do. So if I don't answer to that, or if I tell you, hey, you don't got the right to do that,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like when you
Mm-hmm.
when you get to work and your boss tell you that your boss name is Fred Hammond, bitch, it's Mr. Hammond.
Right. I really do think that some of these motherfuckers are just upset that fag talk has become a thing. I really honestly do.
Well, I think
I
it's
honestly
well, no, I don't think it's upset. I think it. I think that some of the conversations get very deep and dark, and sometimes there are takes on it that it might. You say, "How was you?" Hold on. You say, "How was your name?" Because I didn't give you permission to call me that. My name is Madison Chanel Renee Hinton. I didn't give you permission to call me Timothy. You don't have permission to do that. One, you ain't a motherfucking bitch I know, and two, you ain't a bill I owe.
mm-hmm.
So I didn't give you permission. It's not about misgender me. You don't have permission to do that. You don't know me to call me that.
Mm-hmm. And just for the record, let me say it again. My feelings are not hurt when someone calls me girl. So if we're going to talk about being confused, you all have been confused about that. I've never said I was angry. I wasn't angry with Tamar. I've never said that I was angry. I simply said, you and I don't have that rapport. So you shouldn't take those liberties with me. Don't get too familiar with me.
But we're not there anymore. I don't want to go.
We're not.
I do
I'm
not want to
talking to
revisit that.
Angelica and I'm talking to Hope. I've never said that I was angry about it. I just simply said, if you don't know me like that and I haven't given you permission to do that, just like I wouldn't call either of you boy, don't motherfucking play with me. Because as soon as I say that shit to you, you're going to have a problem. But see, I don't go there with you or any trans person when I'm being serious because I understand the gravity of that. And if you really
Abraxas
were the
said,
advocates that you claim to be, you
hold
wouldn't play with
on,
it either.
hold on. You need to answer this question.
What's
Abraxas
that?
said, you're not trans, though. Why would you be mad at being misgendered?
What the fuck are you talking about? I'm talking about
If
when
they call you girl.
because I'm a male. What the fuck do you mean? What does that have to do with being trans? I don't I don't understand what that has to do with. I mean,
Abraxas said, you're a cisgender gay man, so being called a girl. Oh, I think they're asking for clarity. That's what it looks like they're asking for clarity. See how I use they and them? I don't know if they're male or female. I just know that their name is Abraxas. So I use they and them. You see how easy they and them is, Craig? Very easy.
I just told you I didn't say that it wasn't easy. What I said was, if you present to me, like if tomorrow you decide, bitch, that you don't want to be called she, her, and you want to be called them and they, bitch, I'm calling you Madison. Because you present as woman, as she, her, girl. I'm not giving you them and they. Because then if I now slip and say, oh, well, she, da da da, now all of a sudden I'm misgendering you. So in lieu of that, I'm just going to say, Madison.
So you
What
would
what I'm realizing is some of you just don't want to respect people's boundaries. If I set a boundary and said, like when you were saying on here earlier before I came on here, you said, I was talking to my girlfriend. I put in the comments, you can say girlfriend because we're friends. I know that you're not misgendering me. You're just talking, right? But when they are intentionally trying to use it in the way that some of these reality stars intentionally misgender gay men on the show, that's a problem.
I learned the word because you're so much smarter than me, Craig. I learned the word pejorative from you. Pejorative. I learned that word from you. I didn't like that. For me, it was the subtle. It was all the subtle undertones of the calling you in
Mm-hmm.
and jabbing me. Like
Right.
like we don't like, and maybe it's because they don't get fully through a show because something has triggered them where they stop watching and they don't see me calling you in for certain things or you calling me in. And when I'm on the show talking and we having a conversation and a bitch pop up in the conversation, I read the comments and sometimes in the comment I may pop off because that's it. That's why I was able to amass and do what I did because I've been authentic to myself. I didn't necessarily play a character on TV. Maybe because I didn't have the acting skills to do it. Who knows? Maybe because everybody's exceptional actors and actresses that they were able to embody characters. And when it was time for people to get to know the real them, they don't know how to escape that place. I've always been the real me. I've always turned my camera on and lived my life publicly in front of the people. And so No, I don't have a PhD. No, I don't have a goddamn Hampton, Harvard, or UM degree. No, I don't have that. But what I've been smart enough to do was run a race in which a lot of them laid down traps for me to fall in. What I